My pick is Clone Wars, so Star Wars Clone Wars animated series. They did 6 seasons before, and then Disney acquired Lucasfilm.
That was a break.
Exactly. They always planned to do 7 seasons, but then they were Disney bought Lucasfilm, and then Disney decided, like, okay, we're gonna end everything that has been done till this point, and we're gonna think about what we want to do in the future.
Yeah.
So it was cancelled, but it was a very popular series, and they still decided that it was still official Star Wars material, canon as they call it. So now, by popular demand, they decided to finish the series and make the 7th season.
Nice.
So for the last 12 weeks, I believe, they published 1 episode.
It just happened the last. Okay.
They published 1 episode a week, and
is it very different from the other 6 seasons?
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
Just they went further with it.
Yeah. So now this Monday they published the last episode, and they continued. They continued more or less where season 6 left off. And it was great. I love this series. It started out it's a bit used in the beginning with the Clone Wars. It starts off with a movie. The movie is not so great, the Clone Wars animated movie, but the series gets better and better. In the beginning, it's maybe sometimes still a bit childish by points.
I think I saw the movie, not the series. Then, yeah.
Okay, the movie is not so great, but the series.
No, I was also very impressed. Yeah.
But I really like the series, and what I mostly like about it is that it's a lot about Obi-Wan and Anakin, and especially their relationship together. And what they say in the movies is that they were best friends when they were younger, but you don't see that so much in the prequels.
No, exactly, yeah.
Anakin is mostly a bit of a annoyed brat already the whole time.
Yeah, that's why they hated the movie, I think,
Exactly, he's not really sympathetic. But what you see in this series is that he's actually a noble Jedi warrior and a good guy. And so after I seen the Clone Wars and I went back to Revenge of the Sith, where he becomes Darth Vader, it's much more painful to see him transform in Darth Vader.
Before they went, make him already so easily annoying,
Yeah, exactly. But also the bond he has with Ewan McGregor is much clearer on the Clone Wars. So that's why I really love this series. And then you have Anakin's apprentice, Ahsoka, who is a great Star Wars character, who we will also see in live action Star Wars soon, because probably in Mandalorian season 2 she will pop up.
Nice. So this means this if you connect this to the movies, the show actually shows you way more the background of these two, their friendship, and this also shows what the main problem from these other 3 movies was. I think that they went too fast and they missed all the stuff.
Too fast. I think when I think back of it now, what you see in in the Clone Wars, what I missed in the prequels, I think it would have been a better choice. I really liked actually the Phantom Menace, and to see Anakin as a small boy, I kind of liked it. But I think for the story, for the character arc, it would have been better if they just picked it up when Anakin was 15 or 16 years, because then you have more time to develop him as a character and see him transform. And now they had to transform.
You can even do a moment that you show how they met or whatever. That's fine, but
exactly. They have a flashback or something like that, but not a whole movie, because now you didn't really feel for the guy, because he was mostly annoying and. But
it's a thing also, like I don't know the original books or the original what was it? George Lucas, did he write even books before he made the movies or not?
No, and he never wrote books actually.
He never wrote books. No, exactly. Yeah. So he till the first 3 came out back in the days. Then they started to write books about it. Right?
The first 3 movies came out, and then he already had the story in his head, of course. So
he had the story for the other 3, okay.
Exactly. He already knew it, and the story is that he already wrote them actually, but he decided to first create 4, 5, and 6 because they needed less CGI and technological stuff, and that's why he did 4, 5, and 6 first. and then 1, 2, and 3. But there were writers that wanted to write about Star Wars, and he gave them a license, which made it they could write about Star Wars. Which was more or less just a very smart business move, because he made a lot of movies, a lot of money on the writing of those books.
Because the thing for me was like, what always bothered me, exactly what you say. Also, they should have picked it up when he was already older. But also for me, like, I'm not sure if it was with the books before. What bothered me is that when he became Darth Vader, like Darth Vader is this super epic, the worst bad guy. And then you had Voldemort, you had Sauron, whatever, you know, like talking about really big bad guys. And then you saw him in the movies like a man, and he was an old man. And then in the Revenge of the Sith, he was such a young boy. Like he felt like a young teenager. When he became Darth Vader, that always bothered me.
Yeah, but I think that's not so much the trouble. If you see the Clone Wars, I think the main trouble is that he's just a quite one-dimensional character, so you don't feel for him. Like and with the Clone Wars, he really gets some depth. You see him as a real Jedi. He is noble. Yeah. He fights for the good. He believes, but you see also sometimes the little edges where he makes a different decision, and Obi-Wan does it. That's much more nuanced than that the movies have.
What they even do better with Ben Solo and Daisy Ridley, actually. If you think about it.
Exactly. I think Kylo Ren is one of the best characters of the new trilogy.
Yeah, you never thought he was spoiled or annoying or whatever. No, he was just really deep.
Tortured.
Actually, tortured. Yeah.
So,
okay, so the new season comes out. It just came out. It's for 12 weeks, every week an episode.
Yeah. So the last episode came out this Monday. So it's all on there now. And the first episodes were not so exciting, especially there's 3 or 4 episodes. There's one story arc that is quite unnecessary for my sake. But the last 4 episodes are epic and are among the best Star Wars moments, and very emotional. It's very cool. What they also do very well is they really humanize the clone troopers, because the clone troopers are just clone troopers in the movies, but here they are really they're of course clones, so they're humans with human emotions, and they struggle with being a clone, and their part in all this, and so then when Order 66 comes, then they it affects you much more as a viewer, because you feel for those guys more or less. So that's
I understand what you mean. Nice. And I saw some when the Star Wars the last movie came out, I was also doing a lot of YouTube videos, checking to check what is more to see about Star Wars. I'm not sure if it's from this show. I think also because it's the only animation show that I think there is that is good. They also have episodes about a different Dark Lord, the one that is inside of the mask, or is it a different show? That Yoda goes into a temple.
Yoda
goes into a temple and he finds a really old ancient Sith Lord.
And that's that one is voiced by Mark Hamill, by the way. That's Darth Bane. And Darth Bane is the creator of the Rule of Two, and the Rule of Two is that there always have to be 2 Sith.
Exactly.
So he's from back in the time. So, but that's an episode from the Clone Wars.
From the show,
yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So it's I really recommend it, and I also recommend the other animated show, Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, because it has some really good Star Wars stuff, and it really enriches the whole story and the.
I saw on TV. That show I saw on TV, but I thought it was a bit more kidly than this one. Is a bit more serious, I think. No.
Yeah, it's true. But Rebels, especially the first season of Rebels, is quite childish. But that also
the Jedi with the woman with the.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you call it in a Star Wars world, but yes.
Twi'leks.
Twi'leks, okay. Nice. Of course you know this.
I'm deep in.
I thought I was a Star Wars fan, but Jesus. Nice.
Yeah, so... but that shows also... But you can also always for Clone Wars, because it's a lot of episodes, of course, but if you Google, you can find the essential, necessary episodes that you really have to see, more or less, and then you can skip all the filler episodes. Okay. Do you like this? Do you want to see more? Please subscribe, like this video, and see you next time.